We are back at Eldora, and the last incident is still being cleaned up. I want you to know how mellow this place is. I want you to meet... Cool it, guys, really. Officer Glenn Curtis of the Darke County Sheriff's Department here in Ohio. You're a sprint car fan as well as a man of the law, and that helps out here.
Right. It's a great place to be. Great fans, great racing.
And your dad was a driver.
Yeah, back in the 50s.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a quick question. Who is the only driver, he's an Ohio driver, to have won the King's Royal twice in the decade of the 90s?
Heck, I have no idea. I have no idea.
His initials are Dave Blaney. This guy's been helping us with crowd control, and we appreciate it. Now, as you've been paying attention, you know that Johnny Herrera, who started 17, has moved all the way up to 4th. A sensational performance tonight by the defending champion of the King's Royal event. Earlier, Dave Reeves, well, he talked to Johnny.
Call him King Johnny or call him Hollywood Herrera. Either way, last year's Royal Ransom winner loves the bright lights and big thrills that is sprint car racing. $50,000 will do that for just about anyone, but it also gave him something else.
Gave me confidence. I always knew I could win the races against these racing with the Outlaws. You know, I'm one of them, but you know, it gives you a lot more confidence. You know you can win. You know you can win the big races, and if you can shine at the big races, the other ones will come with it.
Undoubtedly, 1996 was the bright spot in his 11-year career. With the tour-leading 21 heat race wins, the Desert Southwest native finished 9th in the points. It's the 9th time in 11 tries he's accomplished a top 15 points finish. Toss on an off-season marriage to the former Shannon Kennons, and Johnny couldn't wait for 1997.
You know, we won that race, continued the rest of the year. It wasn't too bad for us. You know, ended up through the winter, worked on things with Gilly and the team, tried to put a new program together. Same guys, you know, same motors, me and Gilly, changed the crew guys around a little bit. You know, had higher expectations for this upcoming season.
But that hasn't exactly been the case. Early season motor problems, among other things, have put the 47 behind the 8-ball. However, a mid-season rally, paced by a win at Canandaigua, has Herrera back on the gas and in the top 10. And with Sprint Car's richest month just starting, what a time to get hot.
Well, it kind of seems to be that way. Last year, we kind of did the same thing. We struggled at the start of the year, had a lot of problems, up and down, motor problems, driver problems, like that. Just a little bit of everything. We got things worked out about midway through, and here it is again about midway through. We won one race. Last year, we'd won one race at this time. Coming into the King's Royal, we got that big one. Hopefully, we can repeat and do it again.
So don't pass the crown just yet, because if there's one thing Johnny Herrera likes, it's being called a king. Kings Royal.
$50,000 up for grabs and a full moon lighting our way to the checkered flag. Johnny Herrera's going for it. We'll be back. Car's now getting pushed off as these fans are ready for this race to get back underway. 16 of the 26 starters still on the lead lap here at Eldora with the King's Royal. Let's check in with Dave Reeves.
We just saw Johnny Herrera, the defending champion. He's on a charge. Why is he on a charge? Got a good hard tire on there. It's a 40. They've made some changes. Been running the middle portion of the racetrack. They've siped that tire, cut it up. They're going to run the bottom on this very first lap when it goes green. Then they're moving to the top. They're going to do everything they can do to chase him down. Bobby?
Well, Keith Laney is one of the tuners for Sammy Swindell. We saw you guys working with the brakes and also changing a gear on that yellow flag.
Well, it was a power steering. We was working the power steering wheel hard, and the fluid was getting hot. So we just changed the fluid to try to get it cooled down so the power steering would start working again.
What about the gear change, higher or lower?
We went a little higher.
A little bit higher for Sammy Swindell on that gear change. They were really thrashing down here, Ralph.
Now here's a look at the top 10 as we get set for the restart. Here it is, Gary Brazier now still in 5th. Johnny Herrera, who started 17th, all the way up to 4th. Hodenshield with that new wing. That's going to make a big advantage. What do you think of some of the things you heard out of these guys, Brad? Good moves, bad moves?
Well, I was surprised to hear that Steve Kinzer went to a lower gear, and now we hear that Sammy did go to a higher gear. Generally, as the race goes on, the track gets a little drier. You get a little more wheel spin, and so that kind of surprised me that Steve did that, and we'll see what Sammy does with the higher gear.
Now, one car to keep an eye on is this one, the U2 of Keith Kaufman, one of the great drivers out of Pennsylvania. He started 16th. Brad, he's up to 8th. Now, he finished 3rd in this event back in 1988, so he's got a lot of laps here.
And he's having a great year. You know, at the beginning of the year, we saw him in Phoenix and stuff, and he crashed and all that. I met him at the Los Angeles airport. We flew home. He didn't even have a ride. He was going home to be a part-time electrician for, I believe, a brother-in-law, a family member. They got to ride in this U2, and he's having an incredible year, one of the best years he's ever had.
Dave Blaney still struggling to get up to the front of this one. Remember, there is a bit of a hex on the guy that wins the preliminary night here, which Dave Blaney did last night. We've only seen one driver do that.
Yeah, that was Jack Hodenshield, so it's not a good omen to win the first night.
Steve Evans joining us in the booth as well. What do you think, Steve?
I think it's absolutely spectacular. I've had more fun. I'm going to be black and blue tomorrow because all the fans keep patting me on the back for the fact that we all stayed till 3 o'clock in the morning last night to bring them that race. So can I pound all you guys in the back?
7 hours we were on the air straight here from Eldora, watching that man, the driver of that number 10 Vibrant car, Dave Blaney, pick up the win here. It was certainly worth sticking around for. We hope you were able to join us for all 7 hours as you take a look at the 5 drivers who are out of this one.
Why don't we take just a moment to remember the first man who ever made a lap around this racetrack, guys?
Absolutely. That would be
Don Hewitt, Jack Hewitt's dad, who passed away a few weeks ago from an unfortunate explosion on a car he was cutting apart. And like I said, he made the first lap here, and Jack Hewitt, his son, made a lot of good laps here as well.
All of us with our thoughts and prayers to Jack Hewitt and the entire Hewitt family. Actually, 17 cars. Danny Lasowski running at the tail end of the 17th on the lead lap. Possible problems for Jack Hodenshield's left rear. We're hearing on the radios. We'll keep an eye on that as we go back to green and Steve Kinzer all the way up at the wall.
Look at Johnny Herrera did go to the bottom. He's underneath the Hod going into turn 1.
That would be for third. He's right there. Hod having some trouble getting the car to stick in the turn, but he hangs on to third.
He wasn't giving up easy.
Dale Blaney is just in between Sammy Swindell and Steve Kinzer. He's got to fall down. He pulls to the bottom. And look at Herrera on the bottom of the white 47. Jack Hodenshield, the third place car, the yellow 22 up high.
If Hod's tire was going down a little bit, you know, as long as they're under green, you build the heat from the tire spin, and it helps keep the air pressure in the tire. If you have the yellow, and if it's leaking real bad, it can go flat under the caution.
You'd never know. This was the same Steve Kinzer we saw last night, who quite honestly sounded like he didn't even want to be here before he crashed.
Yeah, I had to feel bad for Steve last night. I mean, that was a hard hit. He had to, you know, jar him loose pretty much. But they bring a car out here that's built for the mile, and right now he's really looking good.
The other thing to remember, gentlemen, is we are racing for a points championship here. Steve Kinzer came into Eldora as the points leader last night, lost that to this man, Sammy Swindell, and now they are running 1 and 2. What could this do to the point chase?
Well, Hodenshield in third. All the point guys right there in the top 3,
except Dave Blaney.
And there he is.
And here look at this.
Andy Hillenberg just passed it.
Dave Blaney.
Dave is in trouble. Boy, right there he tried to retaliate when Andy Hillenberg went around him. He tried to turn the car and come back and got in the black and got real loose.
And now Andy going after Gary Brazier. He's going to go to the bottom. Now remember, Hillenberg runs the McCrary, which runs really good at opposite extremes, either in really heavy racetracks or real slick, which we got here tonight.
When it gets shiny like this, McCreary really shines as well. And
nice job, Tony.
And he's doing a good job keeping it right up there on the cushion, using every bit of it that he can.
Evans is training you well. Andy Hillenberg second in this race last year, trying to work his way up as we've got 10 to go, and now Blaney catching up on Brazier.
Remember, I spoke earlier that it seems like 10 laps to go. There's been a lot of drastic changes in the Kings Royal. Not to jinx anybody, but it just seems like there have been a lot of changes in the positions in the last 10 laps.
Steve, these extra 10 laps can make a big difference.
Oh, they could, and wouldn't it be wonderful if we went to the last race of the year in Las Vegas, Nevada, live on TNN with this kind of a points chase.
You will see that live right here. You'll also see the Knoxville Nationals live, which is where we will be going next for more big money as Blaney tries to make his way up to the front. He's chasing Gary Brazier, the young Australian, trying to hang on to that white number 1.
Amazing that Brazier and his dad came out here for lap time, speed time, practice more than anything else, and they've been a contender both nights.
And Terry McCarl, slide jobs on Blaney.
Yeah, I don't know. Blaney has a tire problem. His car just looks real loose. I don't know if something's bent or something, but the car just looks extremely loose. He's having a hard time. Steve Kinzer just got tied up in traffic and let Sammy close right on. He went in under Frankie Kerr and got bottled up. And you see Sammy Swindell in the white number 1, the blue for the night. White right, number one, I'm sorry, and Jack Hodgson right there coming out of turn 2, closing in on Sammy.
Then Sammy got
Hahn is going to go high, and here's Kinzer working around the outside with Yoski, and Hahn now drops to the line.
Cow, did you see that move?
And Sammy is slowing. He's still going, but Brad, he doesn't look as good as he was before.
Dramatically slowing, but
Hahn looks like a rocket.
Hodgson went between him and Frankie Kerr out of turn 4. 10 laps, about 5 laps to go now. Hodgson is closing on Steve Kinzer.
The only guy to ever win on Friday night and come back and do it on Saturday night for the Kings Royal. Can he do it again?
Hahn has actually won this race twice, but he's come oh so close so many times. The Mopar car in between them. Steve Kinzer, as you go on board with the Mopar car, that's Paul McMahon, and just in front of him, you can see underneath that Mopar sign, whoa, look at that, there's Jack Hodgson, hello, and Kinzer in front of him.
Saw how close out of this camera that Paul McMahon, look at that, see how close Hodgson's right there, that's at 150 miles an hour. Closing in, he's going to dive to the bottom, try to take the spot from Paul McMahon. There he is.
White flag is out in the hands of Doug Clark, $50,000, the first of the month of money, and Steve Kinzer is going to win this with a car designed for the miles. He's going to do it on a half mile here at Earl Baltus's Eldora Speedway. 50 grand to the king of the Outlaws, Steve Kinzer, the 14th time here at the Kings Royal, and Steve Kinzer is going to pick up another, his 4th time that he will go to victory lane at the Kings Royal. We will be back to Earl Baltus's Eldora Speedway to talk to the 4-time winner of the Kings Royal. Steve Kinzer, your winner. Is added to his legend once again. He crashes very hard last night, comes back with a car designed to run only on the miles, and picks up $50,000 on a short track. Dave Reef?
Well, Steve Kinzer is in the middle of a mob. Fortunately, he's got this little cornered off area as we get set for a celebration only fitting a king as he comes in, takes on the cape, getting ready to put on the crown. Steve, unbelievable. What a weekend for you. Can you paraphrase?
Well, like I said, agonies, the thrill of victory and the agonies of defeat. Had a hard time last night, tore a car up, and come back and won here, so maybe it just meant to happen.
Some people might say the king was kind of maybe down on his career. Hey, you're back bigger than ever.
Yeah, well, we ran good here. It's one of the 3 big ones right now, or 4, and it's a good way to start, I can tell you that. All the big races are coming up. Heck, we might break even out of this thing now.
With that big mile car, too. Talk about that. How did it handle compared to the one that you crashed last night?
Well, the thing was, it was beating the frame rails on the ground. It was upsetting me a little bit through the corners. But
good as 5th. Andy Hillenberg ends up picking him off the McCrary tires for 4th. Sammy Swindell, you see him sitting there in 3rd. This is really going to be interesting with the points chase. Steve will pick up 4 bonus points for leading the most laps here tonight. And this is just the first of the big month of money. Of course, they've still got to do the Silver Cup for 30 grand. They've got Knoxville Nationals, which you will see live here on TNM Motorsports with $100,000 up for grabs, and they'll be back here to run the historical big one for another $100,000. You will see those Knoxville Nationals, the granddaddy of them all, live right here on TNN. For the entire crew that hung in here for 9 live hours of sprint car racing, great job. See you at Knoxville.